So, Happy New Year guys and welcome to 2026. Hope you're all doing well. Today we will check out the top 10 best sports cars you can buy in 2026. Number 10, the 2026 Nissan Z Nismo. Not a commuter with stripes, a purpose-built sports car that behaves like it escaped a test track. The 2026 Nissan Z Nismo sharpens the standard Z into something far more single-minded, built around response, rigidity, and sensation rather than convenience. Its twin-turbo 3-liter V6 still delivers 420 horsepower and 384 pounds-feet, but the personality shift comes from how that power is delivered. Throttle mapping is more immediate. Boost hits harder in the mid-range, and the Nismo-calibrated end speed stays locked into the meat of the power band instead of softening shifts for comfort. Every input lands with intention. Chassis tuning is where the transformation really shows. Nismo stiffens the car in all directions. Steering column, underbody, suspension links, so the front end reacts the moment you breathe on the wheel. Spring rates climb, damper valving tightens, and the limited slip differential is returned to push the car through corners instead of merely following them. The result is rotation on demand and real road feel through your palms, not filtered feedback like a daily driver. The cabin is simple but focused. Recaro buckets, red on black trim, a 12.3-inch digital cluster, and a central touchscreen with performance pages, plus just enough driver assist tech to keep it livable on the commute. It's an old-school rear-drive coupe tuned by the motorsports department. The starting price is about $65,750. If this is the lowest-ranked car, you already know number one's built on a different planet. Let's keep going. Number 9, the 2026 Ford Mustang Dark Horse. Not just another Mustang. This is the V8 holdout, built for people who still want a sports car to fight back. The 2026 Dark Horse keeps its identity sharp, a naturally aspirated 5-liter Coyote V8 tuned to deliver around 500 horsepower, paired with either a TMIK 6-speed manual or Ford's quick-witted 10-speed automatic. What makes it an actual sports car isn't just the power, it's the immediacy. Throttle response is razor clean. The V8 builds speed with that old-school rising howl, and the gearing keeps the engine right where it's happiest. Expect the 0 to 60 time to be in the low 4-second range, depending on transmission and tire spec. It feels mechanical, alive, and unapologetic. Chassis hardware is where the Dark Horse separates itself from everyday muscle. Magnarite dampers constantly adjust to keep the tires glued. Stiffer bushings tighten steering response, and the auxiliary coolers for oil, diff, and transmission let you hammer lap after lap without watching your temperatures climb. The Torsen limited slip differential pushes the rear through corners instead of allowing the car to wash wide, and optional Pirelli PZ Trofeo RS tires add serious front-end bite. This isn't a cruiser, it's a sports car that rewards discipline and punishes lazy inputs. The cabin stays driver-first with deep sport seats, a clean digital cluster, a central touchscreen with performance pages, and just enough assistance to survive traffic. Old-school spirit, modern precision. Starting price around $62,000. Number 8, the 2026 BMW M2 CS. Small footprint, big attitude. The 2026 M2 CS is BMW's reminder that real sports cars aren't defined by size, but by how quickly they react when you ask for more. Under the hood sits the S58 3.0-liter twin-turbo inline-6, pushing 523 horsepower and 479 pound-feet, paired with an 8-speed M-Steptronic or a 6-speed manual for purists. What sets the CS apart is the immediacy. Throttle response is sharper. Boost builds harder in the mid-range, and the shorter CS-specific mapping keeps the engine in its violent sweet spot. Expect 0 to 60 in the mid 3-second range, depending on transmission and tire choice. The handling is where the transformation hits. BMW trims nearly 100 pounds through carbon fiber panels, a lighter exhaust and forged wheels. Spring rates rise, dampers stiffen, and added negative camber in front sharpens turning until the car feels telepathic. The active M differential digs in on exit, helping you pivot the car under throttle instead of pushing wide. Upgraded cooling, auxiliary radiators, transmission cooler, and engine oil circuit let the CS run repeated hot laps without falling off. The cabin stays intentional but straightforward. Bottomless sport buckets with CS-specific stitching, Alcantara touches, and a thicker M steering wheel that feels ready for track work. The digital cluster runs CSORED performance pages, while the central touchscreen keeps essentials close without distracting from the drive. Minimal fluff, maximum focus, precisely what a compact track weapon should feel like. Starting price around $95,000. Number 7. The 2026 Porsche 718 Cayman GT4 RS. A scalpel with a license plate, the 2026 GT4 RS is Porsche's purest sports car pushed to its final, most intense form. It keeps the naturally aspirated 4-liter flat-6 singing past 9,000 RPM, delivering 493 horsepower with a soundtrack pulled straight from the 911 GT3, paired exclusively with a lightning-quick 7-speed PDK. It fires off 0 to 60 in about 3.2 seconds, but the magic isn't the number, it's how violently and cleanly it climbs to the red line. Every gear feels like a celebration of mechanical grip and engine noise. The GT4 RS earns its badge through engineering obsession. Porsche cuts mass with a carbon hood, carbon front fenders, a lightweight exhaust, and thinner glass. Airbox intakes behind the driver feed the flat 6 directly, boosting response and turning the cabin into a rolling symphony. The chassis is track first. RS spec dampers, stiffer spring rates, lowered ride height, and a motorsport-derived front axle increase front-end bite. The swan neck rear wing and expanded aero surfaces generate real downforce, keeping the car glued to the ground as speeds rise. It's not playful, it's precise, committed, and entirely unforgiving if you're sloppy. The cabin stays simple but focused with bottomless sport buckets, RS-specific trim, a digital cluster with performance pages, and a central touchscreen that keeps the basics within reach. Track intentions, road manners, starting price around $165,000. Number 6. The 2026 BMW M4 Competition xDrive. A coupe with the reflexes of a sports bike, the 2026 M4 Competition xDrive is BMW's all-wheel drive sledgehammer, tuned for precision, not just straight-line supremacy. It's a 5.83-liter twin-turbo inline-6 that delivers 523 horsepower and 479 pound-feet, feeding an 8-speed Mr. Pronic that snaps off shifts with zero hesitation. With launch control armed and all 4 tires biting, it clears 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds, making it one of the quickest non-MS coupes BMW has ever built. What separates the M4 xDrive from ordinary performance cars is how it blends grip with personality. The variable all-wheel drive system can send almost all the power rearward, and in 4-wheel drive sport, the car rotates on throttle like a rear drive machine, but with the extra confidence to push harder on the corner exit. Adaptive M suspension firms up response without punishing your spine, while the active M differential and massive M brakes keep the car composed during back-to-back pulls. Cooling, aero, and the tire spec are all engineered for repeat high-speed runs, not one-hit fireworks. Inside, the M4 feels more like a tech-loaded command center than a stripped sports cockpit. The thick bolstered M Sport seats lock you in place, while the curved dual display wraps toward the driver, featuring shift lights, boost data, and customizable M menus. Carbon trim, a chunky steering wheel, and paddle shifters give the cabin a purposeful, high-performance edge without sacrificing daily comfort, and the starting price is around $84,000. So, we have finished our video up to the halfway point. If you are really enjoying this video, please subscribe to the channel and do not forget to press the bell icon so you do not miss any updates on our upcoming videos. Let's get back to the video. Number 5. The 2026 Aston Martin Vantage. A sports car with a bad habit of embarrassing supercars, the 2026 Vantage is Aston Martin's most aggressive evolution of its compact 2-seater. Its hand-built 4-liter twin-turbo V8, now tuned to 656 horsepower and 590 pounds-feet, makes this the most powerful Vantage ever. Matched to a crisp 8-speed automatic and rear-wheel drive, it fires off 0 to 60 in about 3.4 seconds, but the real thrill is how brutally it builds speed once the turbos are lit. The mid-range punch is addictive, clean, immediate, and controlled without feeling filtered. The chassis is where the Vantage becomes something genuinely different from typical luxury coupes. Aston stiffened the structure, widened the track, and recalibrated the adaptive dampers to give the car sharper front-end authority. The electronic slip differential reacts in milliseconds, helping the rear rotate naturally rather than forcing the car through corners. A new aero package, larger intakes, reworked underbody flow, and a rear diffuser with a shape that helps stabilize the car at high speeds without turning the vehicle into a downforce monster. It feels balanced and instinctive, the kind of sports car that encourages you to trust your hands and feet more than the computer. Inside, the Vantage mixes style with purpose. Low seating, a clean digital cluster, redesigned vents and switches, and a crisp touchscreen create a cockpit that feels athletic but still unmistakably Aston. Starting price around $170,000. Number 4, the 2024 Nissan GT-R Nismo, old school brute race car focus. The 2024 GT-R Nismo is the R35 turned up to its final wild setting. The hand-built 3.8-liter twin-turbo VR38 V6 is Nismo tuned to 600 horsepower and 481 pounds-feet, feeding a 6-speed dual-clutch transmission and a Tesla all-wheel drive system. Launch control hits like a punch to the chest. Independent tests and estimates put 0 to 60 miles per hour in the mid-2C range when conditions are right. It's still one of the cars that feels angry every time you floor it. The Nismo version earns its reputation through hardware. You can feel stiffer suspension tuning, reinforced chassis bracing, and massive Brembo carbon ceramics that shrug off heat after repeated high-speed abuse. Carbon fiber fenders, bumper pieces, and a hollow rear wing cut weight and sharpen response, while functional aero channels more air through cooling ducts so the turbos stay fed. Every adjustment has a purpose, and none of it's about comfort. It's all about speed. You can repeat and not just boast about it. Inside, it's more pit lane than lounge. Nismo Recaro front seats with leather and synthetic suede, a black and red cabin, Nismo tack, and an Alcantara wrapped wheel with a red 12 o'clock stripe. The tech is simple but functional. Performance pages, navigation, and Bose audio, but nothing gets in the way of driving. The starting price is about $223,000. Number 3, the 2026 Chevrolet Corvette ZR1. American subtlety is dead, and the 2026 Corvette ZR1 is the proof. Its 5.5 liters twin-turbo flat-plane V8 is a racing engine with license plates, rated at 1,064 horsepower and 828 pound-feet of torque. The most powerful factory V8 any US manufacturer has ever built. All of it goes through an 8-speed dual clutch to the rear wheels only, trigger launch control, and Chevy claims 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.3 seconds, a quarter mile in the 9 seconds, and a top speed around 233 miles per hour. Numbers that shove it straight into hypercar territory without the hypercar price tag. The hardware backing that up is just as serious. Massive carbon fiber aero with an available high downforce package can generate over 200 pounds of downforce at speed, while staggered 20 and 21-inch wheels and huge performance tires keep the chassis keyed in. Carbon ceramic brakes, magnetic dampers, and track-oriented cooling let the ZR1 repeat full throttle runs and big stops without falling off. It isn't just fast once, it's built to do one more lap all afternoon. Inside, the latest Corvette cabin goes full tech, a 3-screen layout angled toward the driver, a reworked console, and a built-in performance app that streams real-time data while you drive. Quality materials and deep bucket seats remind you this monster is still a road car. Barely. Starting price about $175,000. Number 2, the 2026 Mercedes-AMG GT 63 SE Performance Coupe. Think of it as a luxury missile with a conscience for nothing but speed. The AMG GT63 SE Performance pairs a handcrafted 4-liter twin-turbo V8 about 603 horsepower and 627 pounds-feet with a rear-axle electric motor for a combined 805 horsepower and up to 1,032 pound-feet of torque and overboost. AMG quotes 0 to 60 in around 7 seconds and a 199 miles per hour top speed, making it the quickest series production AMG to date. Now, this isn't a GT that also happens to be fast. Its whole personality is built around violent, repeatable acceleration. The hybrid system is there to hit harder, not save face. The rear motor has its own 2-speed gearbox and feeds a fully variable 4MATIC Plus system, so the electric shove can land at low speed and high speed, then be pushed to the front axle when the rear starts to struggle. A 6.1 kilowatt-hour battery above the rear axle uses F1-inspired cooling, so it can deliver frequent power bursts without overheating. Active aero adaptive suspension and rear axle steering keep nearly 4,700 pounds eerily calm when the speed goes deep into triple digits. Inside, it feels like a 2-seat command deck. AMG Performance seats, a wide digital cockpit with hybrid and track pages, chunky paddles, and a drive mode selector that flips from quiet EV creep to full send in a second. Starting price around $210,000. Let's crown number 1. Number 1, the 2026 Porsche 911 GT3 RS 92. This isn't just number 1 on a list. It's a car built on a completely different brief than everything else you've heard so far. The 2026 911 GT3 RS takes a 4-liter naturally aspirated flat 6 that revs to 9,000 RPM, sends 518 horsepower and 342 pounds-feet to the rear wheels through a 7-speed PDK, then builds the entire car around, letting you use all of it all the time. Officially, it does 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds with 184 miles per hour top speed. But straight line speed is the least impressive thing it does. What separates it is how much speed it carries between the straights. The active aero package generates race car downforce over 900 pounds around highway triple digits thanks to the swan neck wing with DRS, aggressive front aero and underbody work. That means later braking, higher corner speeds and earlier throttle than almost anything with a license plate. The double wishbone front suspension, individually adjustable dampers, Cup 2R tires, and PCCB brakes are tuned for one goal: lap times you normally associate with million-dollar hypercars. Its Nürburgring time in the mid-600s 40s isn't marketing, it's proof. Inside, everything serves that mission. Fixed carbon buckets, fabric door pulls, exposed structure, and RS readouts that prioritize temps, shift points, and lap data. No backseats, no insulation games, just a car built on a different level of intent. Starting price about $250,000. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.